please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
On an overcast Saturday afternoon in New York City, it is time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. And today, it's the New York Yankees against the Kansas City Royals in Game 3 of a 4-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with David Cohn. I'm Michael Kay. Yankees had a lackluster performance on Thursday, but they bounced back last night. They won the game 6-2. All the requisite things happened. Good starting pitching, good relief pitching, some clutch hitting, and some pretty good defense.
Yes, a nice bounce back from the flat game the previous night. And the Yankees really need to take advantage of these last 3 games here in Yankee Stadium against the Royals, and it was led by Sabathia, who was razor sharp. And then, of course, Gardy, number 5, the power hitter. 5 of his 14 hits have left the ballpark. Gardy, a big spark plug. And then, of course, how about some leather? Well, how about no leather? How about bare hand from Glaber? Omar Vizquel, like in that play. And, yeah, you got to love that one. And Luke Voigt actually falling down to make that catch.
All right, let's take a look at the starters today. The pitching matchup brought to you by People's United Bank. For the Royals, it's Heath Fillmyer. And for the Yankees, it's Masahiro Tanaka trying to bounce back from a subpar outing last time out.
Yeah, it all looks so good from the beginning. Tanaka razor sharp to start this game. The first 3 innings, he just mowed through the White Sox lineup, and it looked like it was going to be more of the same from Tanaka. But as good as he looked early, things unraveled quickly. Abreu stays fair with that last double down the line, and then Tim Anderson shoots him the other way on a mistake pitch right down the middle, and Tanaka just can't believe it as it happened quickly, and the next thing you know, he's on the losing end.
Well, today he's got a center fielder named Mike Tauchman, who really has made his presence felt on this homestand with his first 2 big league home runs. Meredith Marakovitz talks to Tauchman next when we return right here on Yes.
Welcome back. I'm Meredith Marakovitz. With all the injuries the Yankees have suffered, they've been forced to rely on some players they didn't necessarily think they'd need to count on to start the season. But to those players' credit, they have found ways to contribute. One of those guys is Mike Tauchman. Last night, he hit his 2nd home run of the season. I caught up with him earlier where he spoke about settling in at the plate.
I think every time you are up, you get a little more comfortable. The nerves get a little better, the feeling of, not letting the moment get too big, just the ability to calm yourself down gets a little bit easier. So, it's getting a little bit better, every game or whatever, every at bat. So just try to keep that going.
What's something about you that fans wouldn't know?
Oh, geez, I don't know. You kind of put me on the spot. I don't know. I'm pretty easygoing and laid back. I just like playing baseball. I don't know.
Brett Gardner has the afternoon off, so Mike Tauchman is in there playing center field. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, Masahiro Tanaka gets the ball. Michael Kay with the call. He'll be joined by David Cohn after the break.
Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Tri-State Volkswagen dealers. Visit VWDealer.com for the Volkswagen dealer near you. By the New York Lottery, get out there and play. By Papa John's, any large handcrafted specialty pizza, just $12. And by Buick, experience the new Buick for yourself. Lights are on here at the stadium. Rain for most of the morning, but it has stopped. The field is in great shape. Masahiro Tanaka taking his warm-ups, and we'll take a look at the Royals starting lineup brought to you by Lexus. Royals are 7-13. They'll lead off their pesky second baseman, Whit Merrifield. Batting second, the shortstop, Adalberto Mondesi. Alex Gordon in left field will hit third. Cleaning up third baseman, Hunter Dozier. Ryan O'Hearn at first base will bat fifth. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Jorge Soler. Lucas Duda will DH, will bat seventh. Batting eighth and catching, Cam Gallagher. Billy Hamilton is in center field. He's going to bat ninth.
And Tanaka-san, he's already got the hole dug out so he can stick that toe on that slab here in the Boogie Down Bronx. And 4 starts, most of them good. Last start, a little bit unusual for Tanaka there. We'll see 5 walks against 21 strikeouts. That's normal and what we've become accustomed to with Mr. Tanaka. And let's tell you a little bit more in our pitcher scouting report brought to you by your local Honda dealers. And as we said, last time was an outlier start. We're used to seeing Tanaka with great control. He gave up 3 or 4 walks. I think it was 3 walks his last start and a grand slam. We're used to solo shots. So that's why I view that as a little bit of an outlier start. And slide into the weekend. Well, that's in reference to his slider usage. He had 25% slider usage in 2016. This year, already up to 36%. So we've seen a lot of sliders for strikes and out of the zone. And we play today, we win today. That's it. Mariano Duncan had that for us. That was our theme in 1996. And it seems to be that's the thing when Tanaka pitches for the Yankees. The Yankees are 85-51 as a team, and Tanaka's 136 starts. 625 winning percentage.
Whit Merrifield's ready. Tanaka is ready. Let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch is high. We're underway. Nick Lentz is the home plate umpire. Ron Culpa at first. The crew chief, Jerry Meals, at second. Marty Foster is over at third. High fly ball, center field. Mike Talkman's there. He puts it away for the first out. Let's check out the Yankee defense presented by Geico. In the outfield, you've got Frazier in left. You saw Talkman in center and Judge is over and right. In the infield, Urshela at third, Torres at short, LeMahieu at second, Voigt's at first. Behind the plate is Romine, and on the mound is Tanaka. Here is Mondesi. And the pitch outside, 1-0.
Mondesi is the kind of player that if you're an organization on the rebuild that you love to see in the lineup every day. Young, speed, power, switch hitter, good defender. I feel like this is the type of player that can lead you through this rebuild.
Two and one on Mondesi. And Mondesi works a walk. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. It's 60 degrees, the high humidity with the rain in the air, 94%, wind 10 miles per hour. It's cloudy with a slight chance of afternoon showers.
Kind of feel like we dodged a bullet, Michael. Last night, got the game in. We were worried. Today, got the tarp off early. And kudos to the grounds crew here. Danny Cunningham. Boy, if they're not the best in the business, they're close. The way they keep this field.
Alex Gordon with a bunt against the shift, and he's going to have himself an out. Wow, what a play by Tanaka. What a play. That looked like a sure base hit, so Mondesi moves to second.
I'm with you, Michael. I thought for sure there's no chance, but we've seen Tanaka enough to know that he has excellent range on the mound for a pitcher, and he almost looked like he was going to let it go and then decides, I got to pick it up and throw, and right on the money by a step. But Tanaka is very athletic on the mound, moves well. Got to make a decision. Should I stay or should I go? You better pick it up and throw, and that was the right call.
So Mondesi in scoring position. Here's Dozier. That's not a sacrifice, so a proper call, just a 1-3. Three infielders on the left side for Dozier. Pitch outside.
We talked about Hunter Dozier, former #1 pick. Michael mentioned it in last night's game. In his last 10 games, really good, starting to show some pop and that potential that the Royals saw in him when they made him the #1 pick.
We mentioned this the other day. A team like the Royals, they can't miss on their first rounders. And they had missed over the last couple of years. And the reason they were able to build up a championship team in 2 World Series appearances in a row was because they hit on #1 picks.
So tough for Ned Yost. You see there, the manager of the Royals, after being in the World Series in consecutive years, now in a full rebuild.
Bring in more. Two.
Talking to Rex Hudler, that does the broadcasting for the Royals. Actually has a Yankee history with George Steinbrenner. Was a #1 pick for the Yankees way back yonder. And he talked about the Royals' approach on Tanaka and really sitting off speed today.
Three-two. Just missed outside, so Dozier works a walk. 2 walks by Tanaka here in the first inning. That's unusual for him.
Yeah, it requires an adjustment. When you see hitters that are, you can tell already, there's Rex. You see hitters that are just sitting on off-speed pitches, looking for sliders, looking for splitters. Sooner or later, Tanaka's going to have to throw some fastballs, especially late in the count. We've seen him do that in his first 3 starts, where he can actually get some strikeouts with 2 strikes with his fastball, pitching backwards.
Here's Ryan O'Hearn. O'Hearn powered a home run into the Royals bullpen in left center on Thursday. Showed a lot of power the other way. He's got 3 homers on the year. Tanaka does not give up any walks, as you can see, since 2014. 4.8% of the batters he faces walks, and that's the lowest. 1-1.
That's the most amazing thing about Tanaka, with his style and all the off-speed pitches and pitching to the edges, right to the corners, that his walk rate is that low.
Mondesi at second, Dozier's at first. Just underway here at the stadium. Yankees and the Royals. Two and one. They're taking a lot of pitches. They are going to make him throw strikes. Two and two.
Well, that's the pitch that he can throw for a strike. And we noted his slider usage is way up. When you need to get a strike in a fastball count, this is what he does. That's got a lot of plate. But when you have Royals hitters sitting on off-speed pitches, you're going to get some strikes with your slider.
Fouled it off.
You know, when I was on the mound, Michael, I always saw these opportunities when you see the Royals hitters and you see how selective they are. The inside corner is open for a fastball. That's the equalizer for every pitcher. When you see hitters taking a lot of close pitches, they're susceptible inside to the fastball.
Strike three. O'Hearn down looking. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Royals nothing, and the New York Yankees coming to bat. Now let's check out the Yankees starting lineup as we go to the bottom of the first. It's brought to you by Lexus. The Yankees come into the game at 9 and 10, and they'll lead off their second baseman, DJ LeMahieu. Aaron Judge in right bat second, hitting third. First baseman Luke Voigt. Gleyber Torres at shortstop cleans up. Batting fifth, the left fielder Clint Frazier. Mike Ford, the DH, will bat sixth. Batting seventh, the third baseman Gio Urshela. Austin Romine is going to catch. He'll bat eighth, and batting ninth and playing center field is Mike Tauchman. Brett Gardner, just a day off, a planned day off, even though there's a righty on the mound.
And on the mound, Heath Fillmyer. He's had 2 starts on the year. You can see 11 hits in 8 innings, 3 to 4 walks to strikeouts. And let's tell you a little bit more in our pitcher scouting report, brought to you by your local Honda dealers, and kind of the traditional repertoire: basic 4, fastball, slider, curve, and a change. And has had some contact management issues early in the season here. A 93.6 average exit velocity. That's Major League Baseball's second highest to Carrasco in Cleveland, surprisingly. And earn your keep. You know, you get Danny Duffy's on the DL coming back, and you're kind of in a position where if you pitch well, you can semi-control your own destiny, but needs to have good starts.
Here's LeMahieu. Hitless in his last 14 at bats, so I mean he could not stay as hot as he was coming out of the gate. So a little bit of a market correction with an 0 for 14, but still hitting 3 for 313.
That's a great way to put it, Michael. I mean, his contact has been excellent. Still hitting the ball hard, but just not hitting with good fortune as much.
High pop-up, shallow center. Merrifield with the call on the catch. 1 down. Why don't we check out the Royals defense presented by Geico. You've got Gordon, multiple Gold Glove winner out left. Hamilton in center, Soler over and right. In the infield, Dozier, Mondesi, Merrifield, and O'Hearn. That's third to first. The backup catcher, Cam Gallagher, is behind the plate. And on the mound as David Dittel, Heath Fillmyer. So here's Aaron Judge hitting .275, but an on-base percentage of .400. The only thing that's down for Judge is his slugging percentage at .478. So that's about 50 points lower than what you would expect it to be. But this will give you reason for cheer. His hard hit rate is 70.7%. The major league average of hard hit balls, 37.4%. So he's almost doubling that. He hits everything on the screws. Last year, his hard hit rate was 54.1. And a hard hit rate is a ball that's hit 95 or more miles per hour off the bat. High fly ball, right field. Soler back, track, wall, see ya! Home run Judge. Yankees on the board, 1-0.
Just seems like every year his approach to plate is so solid, especially tailored to this ballpark. You watch him in BP, he launches fly ball after fly ball to right field. Smart young man, very talented young man.
Luke Voigt takes the ball, 1-0.
Like that had a little spin on it, maybe a cutter or a slider. That swing works.
Well, this is a perfect ballpark for him, David, because even if he doesn't hit the ball squarely, he's so strong he can get out to right. And then, although in relation to other ballparks, left center field is a hike, he's so strong that if he hits the ball, that doesn't matter to him either. So it's a perfect dimensions for him.
Yeah, well put.
2-2.
105.2 miles an hour off the bat of Aaron Judge. And a 36-degree launch angle. So as Michael said, this is up there. This has got some hang time.
Strike 3, Voit down looking. Another stat that's interesting regarding Judge, and came into the game hitting 275, and now it's 286, but he has 8 outs on balls hit 105 miles an hour or more. So hitting in some bad luck, but hitting the ball very hard. Chasing a high pitch, swings and misses. 0-1 on Torres.
Tied with Christian Yelich in that stat that Michael just mentioned. Last year's MVP in the National League.
Fly ball, shallow center. Hamilton makes the play for the final out on the first. But the Yankees take the lead. Judge goes the other way. Finds the seats and right. When the ball lands, it's Yankees 1, Royals nothing. Time for today's conversation, brought to you by Toyota. The Toyota Prius is the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. Does it surprise you to hear that Albert Pujols is about to tie Babe Ruth on the all-time RBI list? Yankees chat says not at all. Pujols was a top 3 hitter in his prime on good Cardinals teams. His longevity has helped him achieve this as well. Soler swings and misses. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius Prime. Keep the conversation going. A reminder to all of our viewers, Major League Baseball only considers RBI stats after 1920 and on. Anything before that, they do not look at. So some of the lists that you might be looking at, you say, well, he's not tying Babe Ruth for that. Well, according to Major League Baseball's list, he is. So 1992 for Ruth. Pujols is 1991.
Yeah, Babe Ruth's first year was 1914.
Second strikeout for Tanaka. Here's Lucas Duda. When Tanaka came over to the States, the reputation he had in Japan, power pitcher, really, really hard, had an undefeated season, which is amazing in itself in any league. That one is ripped into center field. Talkman is there to make the play. But I see the way you watch him, David, and you admire it because he's really a technician on the mound. He's not just blowing people away. He's thinking, he's working, he's dissecting it at bat.
Yes, he's got a high aptitude for pitching in my estimation. And also, genuinely an accountability. He's really a perfectionist out there. And we've seen that come through, how seriously he takes his craft. And comes through also in big games in the postseason. Very reliable. The adjustments he's had to make were just extremely impressive. We saw him throw the ball 97 miles an hour his first year as a Yankee. The hype was real. And then came the elbow injury. And then came all the adjustments of pitching away from his fastball, developing a slider.
One and two.
He tantalizes hitters with pitches that look like strikes for a long time, like that last one, and then just fall out of the strike zone, or pitches that look like balls the whole way and then dip into the strike zone.
Swing and a miss. Strong inning for Tanaka as he retires. The Royals in order with 2 strikeouts. We go to the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 Yankees on the Judge home run. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by GMC. We are professional grade. By Subway. Make it what you want. And by Heineken, enjoy Heineken responsibly. We go to the bottom of the second inning at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Clint Frazier will lead off against Heath Philmeyer. So it'll be Frazier, Ford, and Urshela. There's a strike.
Can't help it. I feel like every time Frazier comes up, I'm on the sneaker watch. You know, I mean, I know we're in the sneaker generation, but he's got these custom-made spikes. We've seen three different kinds in 3 different days.
He can style.
That is yeah. You see the Jordans?
Yep.
Those are his custom made. Were his design.
Bounced up there and past Gallagher. Meredith, you have more on Sneaker Watch.
Well, you see the pinstripes. I don't know if you remember back in Derek Jeter's final season, Nike put out a pair of sneakers, the Jeters right there, that he's wearing. And he found a pair, had somebody here in New York put the spikes on the bottom of them, and he's going to continue to do that throughout the season. Wanted to honor the captain a little bit.
Nice.
Didn't CC Sabathia come up with like the boots or with the spikes on the bottom to kind of ride him a little bit?
CC put something out on Instagram, a pair of Tims with spikes on, and said, "Are these your next ones?" They had gold bottoms. I don't know that he's going to go that far, but he has been creative.
High fly ball, deep right, Soler back. He's on the track, he leaps. See ya! And bounces into the seats for a home run. Got to be the shoes. 2-0 Yanks.
This is the second time we've seen Clint Frazier go off the top of the wall. Another home run for Frazier.
Number 5. Here's Mike Ford. Second big league game.
Inside out swing. Swagalicious.
Well, he is taking advantage of an opportunity. And good for him after what he went through last year. Strike 3, Ford down looking. And the way Clint Frazier's handled it, he said, listen, nobody wants any teammate to get hurt. You just don't. That's not how players are, because it could be them. But if somebody does go down and you have an opportunity, you have to make the most of it, and he's certainly doing that.
Absolutely, and he's earned his way. I mean, you noted, you know, the adversity he's had to overcome with his concussion issues, and derailed completely almost the entire year last year.
And those opportunities were there last year, and that's what made it more haunting for him, that the concussion issue just was hard to shake, and he finally worked through it over the winter, showed up in spring training, and here he is. That one is looped into center field, a base hit for Urshela. There's Austin Romine. 2-0. There's Frazier's home run on StatCast AI, powered by AWS. 98.5 off the bat. Projected distance 356 feet. 3-0 on Romine.
It is amazing. You know, traditionally, you always thought about the Yankees lineup being centered around power left-handed bats. It's kind of been the change, really, since the shift came into play. We saw Mark Teixeira in his career as a Yankee kind of become a victim of the shift, and now all of a sudden these right-handed batters that are power hitters shooting the ball the other way has become the common theme, led by Aaron Judge. But you see it in batting practice every day. All of these guys, Gary Sanchez, even Austin Romine to a certain extent, we see them shooting the ball the other way, and all of them are strong enough to take advantage of that porch.
Grounded to third, backhanded beautifully by Dozier across the diamond for the second out, as Urshela will go to second. Well, that's always been questioned about the Yankees of the last couple of years. Well, the Yankees have always been built with left-handed power, and they're so right-handed laden now. Well, the shift turns a left-handed hitter into a batting average that's 50 points lower than what it used to be. And you've got righty hitters that can easily reach that port, so it's not necessary to have the lefty lineup anymore.
Definitive shift in policy and strategy, and led from the top.
Talkman takes low, 1-0.
I think Mark Teixeira is the perfect example of that. He's a high average hitter when he came over. 270 to 290. All of a sudden you saw 50 points drop off of his average, and a lot of that due to the shift.
That'll make the seats out of play. David Ortiz said it robbed them of so many hits. And we're not just talking hard ground balls, because against those hitters, they put a guy in short right field, and a line drive single is an out. So you are taking away a lot of opportunities to get on base with the shifts the way they are now. And if a righty hitter can hit it that way, you've eliminated that need. Because back in the championship years, Brian Cashman used to say he wanted big, hairy, left-handed monsters. That's no longer the case.
Yeah, Jason Giambi, Mark Teixeira, Tino Martinez. It's Donnie Baseball's birthday today, isn't it?
That's right. Happy birthday. He's 58 years old today. Also, Kyle Higashioka's birthday. He's 28. One and two.
Enjoy it, Kyle, because that journey from 28 to 58, it's a blur. At least it was for me, or is for me. All right, I'll speak for myself. Never mind.
You're not even 58, so it really is a blur.
See? I proved my point
I'm
right
58.
there.
You're not. You're younger than me.
Biologically, it's a little different story.
2-2 on Talkman. Runner at second. 2-0 Yanks. We are in the second. A lot of twos. And a runner on second.
You can imagine you're Mike Talkman. You're kind of buried in the Rockies organization. Towards the end of spring training, you get traded to the Yankees. You're on the roster. You're the new guy. Trying to establish yourself. Already got a couple of homers. Talk about a whirlwind experience for a young player. Number 2 on the year for him. Good defense, good speed, and hey, he's showing some pop in his bat.
They really like him defensively, and that's why he's in center today. Giving Gardner the day off. 2-2. Ground ball is short, backhanded by Mondesi. And Talkman really flying down the line, but he's gunned down by Mondesi for the final. Hey, when you play on Broadway, it's all about shoe business. As Frazier goes the other way. Always want to hit on Broadway. He had a big one. The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Yankee Stadium. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem special check-in offers, access exclusive content, much more. So download the MLB Ballpark app today. All right, we go to the 3rd inning. Yankees are up 2-0. A home run by Judge and a home run by Clint Frazier. Billy Hamilton will lead it off against Masahiro Tanaka. 3 strikeouts, 2 walks for Tanaka over the first 2 innings. First pitch is upstairs. 1-0. We've told you about Hamilton's speed. Had 155 stolen bases 1 year in the minors. And you need to keep him off base for that reason. 28 years old, 7th big league season. First year with Kansas City, started his career with the Reds. Grounded to first and past Voit, and that'll go down the right field line. Off to the races is Hamilton. He's at second, and he's going to go for 3. And he will make it. So Hamilton at 3rd to start off the inning. We'll see how that's scored. And it is a triple.
Well, there are afterburners, and then there are afterburners, and Luke Voit underneath the glove. I'm sure he will say after the game that's a play he's got to knock down or keep in front of him. And you see right here, you want to turn it on, that's getting it. Full speed on into 3rd. He's got a different gear.
All right, a ground ball to short or second by Merrifield will score a run. They're in at 3rd and 1st. That's right. And the 0-1. 0-2. Well, it's fun to watch Hamilton run.
Well, running the bases, I mean, obviously you got to cut corners, you got to hit the bag, so there's a little bit of a slowdown. You see him pick it up there. Now you want to see the real gear right there. Between 2nd and 3rd. He let it all out.
In 10.75 seconds, home to 3rd. The 0-2. Swing and a tip into the glove of Romine, and a big strikeout for Tanaka. Here is Mondesi. Now Mondesi goes by Adalberto. His full name is Raul Adalberto Mondesi, the son of former big league player Raul Mondesi. Played 13 years in the majors. Actually, he was with the Yankees for a year from July 2002 to July 2003. And Raul, the dad, became the mayor of his hometown in the Dominican Republic and then went to prison for corruption. So Adalberto goes by his middle name to make his own name for himself and distinguishing himself from his father and his brother, who was Raul Jr. And it's not because of his dad's legal troubles. A lot of people thought that's why he changed. Swing and a miss. So Tanaka trying to pitch his way out of trouble. And he's 67% of the way there.
Well, Tanaka throwing all of his off-speed pitches in the strike zone. The Royals were taking a lot of these pitches early. Now he comes up just a bit. Slider's right there, swings over the top of it. Not sure that's where Tanaka was trying to throw that. You can almost tell by his reaction on an 0-2 pitch, but it had good depth. Kind of got away with one.
Here's Gordon, laid down a beautiful bunt in the first inning, but Tanaka made a great play. There's a ground ball, right side. Torres fields over to first, got him. And Tanaka escapes trouble. The leadoff triple is stranded. No runs to hit, no errors, and one man left. That is a nice play by Torres, and he fires a strike to Voit. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Well, fans, come out to Yankee Stadium on Saturday, May 4th for the Yankees' 4th annual Star Wars Day. There'll be a special Star Wars theme and appearances by some of your favorite Star Wars characters. In addition, the first 40,000 guests in attendance will receive a special CC Sabathia Jedi bobblehead. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. 2-0 Yankees over the Royals. We go to the bottom of the third inning. And the first pitch to LeMahieu. We have as a strike. The scoreboard has as a ball. Pitch is high.
It was a ball.
It was a ball?
Yeah, it's 2-0. Unless it tipped the bat or something, but that was a pitch way inside the first pitch.
All right, so it is 3-0. And a walk on 4 pitches to LeMahieu. Now, yesterday, CC Sabathia moved 3 wins away from 250, 6 strikeouts away from 3,000. And Meredith, those are certainly Hall of Fame worthy numbers. What's the buzz on that?
Well, his manager, Aaron Boone, said after the game he believes CC Sabathia is a Hall of Famer. CC was asked whether or not he thinks that, and he said, that's for other people to worry about. My job right now is to just go out there and pitch and try to get this team back to where they want to be, and that's a World Series. He's also 6 strikeouts away from 3,000, and I was a little surprised by the fact that he admitted he's been thinking about it. He looked up at the scoreboard 1 or 2 times during the game to see how many strikeouts he had on the day. He said it's something that he hopes he just gets out of the way. He wants it out of his mind. Overall, extremely pleased with how he's been swinging the ball, with how he's been throwing the ball.
I'll tell you what, it's refreshingly honest, because he said he's been thinking about 250 and 3,000 since last year.
Yes, and those are huge numbers. I mean, you talk about the 3,000 strikeout club for pitchers. That is an elite group. Just 16 others. Sabathia would be number 17 in the history of the game.
0-2 on Judge.
There's only 2 members of that 3,000 strikeout club that are not in the Hall of Fame. One is Roger Clemens, the other is Curt Schilling.
And the general thought is that Schilling will get in, and Clemens obviously has the complications with an association with PEDs. Don't know if he or Bonds will get in, but the thought is that Schilling will get in. Two and 2. check swing. And once again, a full count on Judge.
You just knew that was going to happen, right? The king of reversing the count and getting it back to 3-2. You know, part of that, Michael, I think that's just approach and just being a highly intelligent hitter.
Keeping LeMahieu close.
You can't lay off of all of those pitches like Judge does, just out of the zone, without really thinking well at the plate, anticipating the flow, looking for pitches.
Well, they think that LeMahieu was going. High fly ball, right field. Soler comes in and makes the play. Right at the end of the bat. Take a look at the league leaders presented by your local Tri-State Volkswagen dealers. Longest on base streaks in the majors, active. Luke Voigt with 30. Next up is Bryce Harper with 22. And you see the rest of the group, but Luke Voigt, a comfortable lead. He struck out looking in the first inning. Oh, 0-1. One. A lot of the right side of the infield open with O'Hearn holding LeMahieu and Merrifield shading up the middle. Half swing, fouled it away.
You just get the sense, Michael, you know, we saw those throwovers to first base and with Judge up and DJ LeMahieu. LeMahieu's not going anywhere, not in this part of the lineup. One swing of the bat is 2 runs.
Grounded foul.
You know, there are situations maybe with a 3-2 count where you might send the runner just to stay out of a potential double play ball, but for the most part, Judge, Voigt, and even Glaber on deck, who's become the cleanup hitter for the Yankees. Kind of the old Earl Weaver. Don't make outs on the bases, because these guys have pop in this ballpark.
Two and two.
LeMahieu, not your prototypical leadoff guy with speed. Good ball player, but it's only 6 for 11 in stolen bases in both 2017 and 18.
Ripped to left field. It's a base hit. That is 31 straight games reached by Luke Voigt. Well, he tattooed that one.
Yeah, a lot of talk about the Yankees and Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton when he's healthy. Well, put Luke Voit in there. That's over 110 miles an hour off of his bat as well. He hits the ball extremely hard.
So here's Gleyber Torres, first and second, one out. And a strike. Gallagher wants to talk with Phil Meyer. Torres with a fly ball to center in the first. He's 6 for his last 37. And you can see what the injuries have done to this Yankee lineup. Gleyber Torres was at the bottom of the order when everybody was healthy. Now he's batting cleanup. So what was a lengthy lineup before people started going down now gets shortened, and there's a little bit of a landing spot at the bottom of the order for some pitchers. They're hoping to get back Gary Sanchez. It was good news. There's no minor league game tomorrow, unfortunately. So he's going to play one minor league game on Monday, travel to Anaheim, get there on Tuesday, be activated on Wednesday, and that will certainly lengthen the lineup.
Never really heard of that. A one-game rehab.
Yeah.
Very unusual.
Today's injury report brought to you by Montefiore Doing More. So he was placed on the 10-day IL on April 12th, left calf strain. Expected to play the rehab game on Monday. And then, as I mentioned, expected to be activated on Wednesday.
It's a lot of work for 3 at-bats.
Yeah. High fly ball, left field and deep, going back Gordon. He's on the track, he's at the wall, he leaps, it's off the wall. LeMahieu scores. Voit is rounding third. Oh, they're going to call it a home run. The umpire said it is a home run. A 3-run shot by Torres, and the Yankees lead 5-0. I'm sure the Royals will take a look at it.
Yeah, you are correct, Michael. And Alex Gordon, the left fielder, seemed to point up at the fan as if to say maybe interference here.
Ooh, it's going to be a tough call when they look at it.
Yeah, and that will get looked at.
So Ned Yost going to talk with the crew chief, second base umpire Jerry Niels, and also the man who made the call, Marty Foster. And they will take a look, and we'll take another look.
Now you have to bear in mind, Marty Foster, who made this call, was closer to third base than he was to the wall, so he couldn't really see how far the fan reached out there.
What do you think, Davey? That's tough. Tough call.
Well, the fan clearly is reaching over. The fan is clearly reaching over and inhibited Gordon from going further and maybe snatching that and robbing a home run. I think the ball definitely would have left the ballpark. The question is whether that fan impeded Gordon, and I believe he did. It's hard to say whether Gordon would have made that play or not, but it was close enough to where he could make the argument that he could have gone into the stands and made that catch and brought it back.
This might have to be a judgment call by the umpire, because I don't know if you could say he's out because you don't know if Gordon could make that play, but can you put him to second and say, listen, he might have knocked the ball back on the field? It's a hard call to make.
As the fan is clearly reaching over into the field of play, over the wall.
Well, Torres is watching it on the big board in center field right now.
You talk about a gold glove left fielder and Alex Gordon. I don't know if that comes into play, but in my mind it does.
How about 6 gold gloves? He's one of the best.
It would have been nice to see him try to make that catch without the fan being in the way. The fan clearly was a part of that play.
Well, right now, on the field, it scored a home run, so that's why it's 5-0 Yankees, but that's why they're looking at it. So they have to overturn the call on the field, which was home run. And is there enough there to overturn it?
Yeah, your point was well taken. What do you, if you're going to overturn that, what do you make it? Do you make it a double? Do you assume that Gordon would have made that catch? Not sure that you can assume that. That is really difficult.
I would not want to be the person who had to call this. It's an umpire back in the Major League Studios in Chelsea, which is in Manhattan. That's a pretty good look at it there. But is there anything definitive that will tell you he would make that catch if the fan did not reach over? That's why it's such a difficult call. It's also a good point you make, David, as well. Do they take into consideration that Gordon is a great left fielder, or would they have a different look at it if it was an average left fielder? I don't know if that comes into play at all.
You know what he thinks? That's, you know, all things considered, that's going to be a hard one to overturn. The call in the field was a home run.
Well, you can see by the length of the review how difficult it is. They might not know what to do right now. Torres doesn't want to look.
Yes. To be or not to be. A 3-run Jimmy John.
Okay, they're about to make the call. Out. Hold him out. Now, who does Aaron Boone argue with? That is an unbelievable call to call him out. You know what? I didn't think it would be called out.
Boy, that was, you know, that was such a difficult call. There's no doubt that the fan reached over the fence. Gordon was leaping, making an effort to make that catch. Really difficult call. I understand Aaron Boone's frustration here. That's a 3-run home run. That was clearly going to leave the ballpark.
He just got thrown out of the game, and it's so frustrating for a manager. That's one thing that replay has done. Who do you argue with? Who do you go nuts on? Because the person who made the call is back in Manhattan. But Boone just wants to take his frustration. I don't blame him, but the guys he's arguing with did not make they called it a home run.
Understandable reaction from Aaron Boone. The crowd certainly liked it as well.
So from the euphoria of a 3-run home run to a fly ball to left, that's what Gleyber Torres just experienced. And here it is, and he said enough, and I think it's thrown out. And this is the reaction when they call him out.
A little bit of a sly grin from Alex Gordon there. Wow, what a play. Just incredible.
This happened in the playoffs last year, David, with Mookie Betts and Altuve. Same exact play.
The difference there is the fan is not reaching over the fence quite as much. He's almost level with that yellow line going straight up. This one, the fan was clearly over the fence. Well, both calls were the same, though. Very similar.
Well, what a difference in the game. 5-0, now 2-0 with 2 outs. That's a huge overturn. That is Aaron Boone's first ejection this year. He had 4 last year and 5 as a player in his career.
And I would imagine that fan is probably going to have to leave the ballpark now. It's so difficult. If you're a fan, you see a ball coming at you, and your natural reaction is to catch it. But if you reach over the fence, you're going to get kicked out of the game, and he did.
1-2. A little bit of a glare now over the field as the sun is trying to peek through the clouds. Lights have been on since first pitch. Still a thick cloud cover above. A little brighter than it was for most of the game so far. 1-2. Popped up to first. O'Hearn makes the play, and that will do it. Odd inning. No runs. A hit, no errors, and 2 men left. Well, here is a home run by Gleyber Torres. At least that's what the umpire thought, but back at Chelsea, they said no and overturned it. All right, we go to the 4th inning out in the Audi scoreboard. Yankees lead the Royals 2-0. And Hunter Dozier will lead off against Tanaka, who had a long stay in that dugout in the bottom of the 3rd. Shows you how replays changed the game, because you were on a team in 1996 where there was a disputed home run call. On a ball that a youngster who's not young anymore, Jeffrey Mayer, in right field, reached over. Tony Tarasco camped underneath it. And Richie Garcia was the right field umpire. And Derek Jeter was awarded a home run. How does Yankee history change, David, if there's replay and they take that home run away?
Jeffrey Mayer, who's now 72 years old, so.
I think he was 13 then, right?
Yes. So difficult. Would it have been a home run? Yes. Would Gordon have caught it? We don't know. Was there fan interference? Yes.
Let's go back to 1996, David. The unhittable.
The 0-1.
Derek Jeter. Tony Tarasco was camped. He didn't even jump right away. And the difference here, Richie Garcia is right there.
He was screaming at Richie Garcia.
Reached over the fence. He's in the field of play. The fan reached into the field of play and interfered with the play.
Now, looking at that replay, to me, that was much clearer than what happened in left field in the previous inning. I mean, you could see Jeffrey Mayer was reaching over.
If you draw a line straight up, the fan is over that line.
Right.
Like the end zone, breaking the plane of the end zone, the fan broke the plane.
Now, I wonder, David, is it in the toolbox of the umpires to say it's not a home run, but it's a double? Do they have that in their toolbox? It is. Okay. I thought so.
The more you see it, the more you wonder if Gordon actually would have made that catch if he was unimpeded. Clearly, the ball was going over the wall.
And if he made the catch, it would have been an outstanding catch. It was not a catch he would have made just with normal effort.
Once the fan reached over the wall, broke the plane, and made contact with Gordon's glove, that is the definition of fan interference.
And maybe, David, the difficulty of saying, okay, it's not a home run, but we think it would be a double and 1 run scores, or we think it would be a double and 2. Maybe they just say, let's just call it an out. Because then total judgment comes into play, placing base runners and wondering where they would go, how far the ball would carry them out. That's a tough call.
Yeah, skill level of the fielder.
So the path of least resistance for the umpires is to say home run or out. The umpires call foul tip. So that would be strike 3. And here comes the third base umpire, Marty Foster. Well, it's definitely not a foul tip.
What the sound you're hearing is the ground, kind of the double tick. He's going off a sound.
And now the third base umpire, Marty Foster, said no, he did not tip it.
And that should be reviewable.
We can't look at it. We can't look at it.
Aaron Boone got thrown out of the game. Unless that's not a reviewable play. It should be reviewable. But the home plate umpire, there's no way he could see that foul tip. He's going clearly on sound, and once the ball hit the ground and then the glove, he heard a double tick and assumed it was a foul tip. It's a not reviewable play, as we just saw the umpire look into the Yankees dugout. It's a judgment call. Tough day to be an umpire.
By the way, David, I've done the math. Jeffrey Mayer's 36.
He's 36, yes.
Half of 72. He played baseball in college, too.
Supposed to be a great kid. Moment and snapshot in time. Never forgotten.
Whip to right and foul.
Since they've had instant replay brought into the game, it's obviously less than perfect, still revising it here and there, but that last foul tip, that was clearly something that could have been overturned by replay.
Ground ball, let's see if they turn 2. And they do.
Tanaka with the fastball up and out over the plate, and on top of it, tailor-made. Pitcher's best friend.
But David, they would not have because the umpire called it a foul tip and would have been strike 3, and the third base umpire overturned it, so they didn't have to look at replay.
Right, exactly. I mean,
so they got it right.
They did. In the end, they got it right. I think the point being is that, you know, that's not a reviewable type play.
Right. One more Jeffrey Mayer note, David. He set the career record for hits at Division III Wesleyan University. So he was not defined by that one moment in time. He became a baseball player.
I'm sure his phone's blowing up right now.
Ground ball at third, Urshela. And that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Now time for T-Mobile's connection to the game. Jacob deGrom placed on the 10-day IL, sore right arm, elbow actually, but he's not going to undergo an MRI now. Christian Yelich has been unbelievable this year. Nathan Eovaldi placed on the 10-day IL with a right elbow issue. That's a strange change of direction with deGrom. They say he threw today in the outfield because the elbow felt it a little bit better, and they're not going to give him the MRI. Audi scoreboard, 2-0 Yankees over KC. Mike Ford fouls it away, 0-2. Isn't it better to have the MRI? It's not that expensive.
There's MRI machines everywhere. You can easily get one. A lot of the times they're in the ballpark, depending on how new the stadium is.
And I would assume in St. Louis there is an MRI machine. Fairly new ballpark. The initial call was they were going to send him back to New York. Then they said he was going to have the MRI on Monday, come back with the team. And now I'm reading all the reports from St. Louis today. They're not going to do the MRI. In 2003 at Princeton, where Mike Ford matriculated, he became the first player ever to win both the Ivy League Player of the Year and Pitcher of the Year awards. And he works a walk. So I wonder, David, if there's a blowout one way or the other and you go to a position player, is Mike Ford the guy who goes on the mound now?
Interesting. Yes, could be.
There he is in Princeton.
We mentioned it before, but it bears repeating. Former Yankee Scott Bradley, the head coach there.
And here he is as a New York Yankee. Second walk for Ford. Here's Gio Urshela. And the pitch is high, 1-0. Two nothing Yankees, bottom of the fourth inning. 1-1.
That foul tip catch the umpire must have got him in the guard. As you see, he whips his right shoulder back, but he is protected there. Seems to be fine. They throw it in there over 90 miles an hour. When they foul it back, believe me, you feel it.
Two and two. Phil Meyer about to throw his 70th pitch. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. Popped up. Gallagher makes the play. That was in fair territory. And here's Austin Romine. I keep thinking back to the call and left on the Torres home run, and the thing that is unusual is that the umpires back in Chelsea overturned it, assuming that Gordon would have made the call or the catch. And I mean, that's quite an assumption, because it was not an easy catch. It would have been an outstanding catch. And to overturn a home run on the assumption that a catch would be made, I think that's really stretching it. That one is driven deep to left field. Going back is Gordon, turning, looking, he plays it up the base of the wall. Ford will stop at third. Romine has himself a double.
Romine, you see the spin on that slider, and it just sits right there, and Romine just hammers it. Beautiful swing. The only question was whether it was high enough to get over the wall, and it wasn't, as it hits on the bottom of the wall. Nothing Gordon could do there. That was hit too hard to even make an attempt at that. I agree, Mike. It's a very difficult call, that home run on left. And clearly, it would have left the park.
And also, David, you say that the fan's hand pierced the invisible shield straight up. So did Gordon.
Yes.
His glove was into the stands. If he made that play, his glove would have been in the stands.
But once the fan reached over, I think the judgment is just assuming. I think the umpires will just immediately call fan interference. The fan interfered with Gordon in the field of play.
Well, if the Yankees win this game, it's no harm, no foul. If they end up losing the game, that's going to be talked about for a while.
It was fan interference. And there doesn't have to be contact. You know, the fan could inhibit the line of sight for Gordon as well. Once he reached over into the field of play.
Count 1 and 2 on Tauchman with the infield in.
So whether Gordon would have caught it or not is irrelevant. Whether the ball would have left the park or not is irrelevant. It was fan interference by the judgment of the umpires.
Two and two.
You and I up here, we're trying to figure it out too. We're not really taking a position on this. It was so close, so difficult.
And the fact that it took so long, it was difficult for the people back in Chelsea as well.
I'm glad I didn't have to make that call.
And Boone might have also been arguing, why did the runner stay put? Wouldn't they have tagged?
That's part of the judgment as well. If there's a runner on third, assuming that.
That's one off the glove of Gallagher, but Ford stays put. Not that much room in foul territory behind home plate, and Ford's not a burner, so he smartly stayed put at third.
Agreed. He's ready. You could see he kind of broke back. Once he broke back, there was really no chance. Actually off the screen. A little bit of a ricochet.
That one is driven to right field and deep. Soler turning, looking, see ya! Another home run for Tauchman. A 3-run shot, and the Yankees lead 5-0. Making the most of his chance.
Think he likes hitting in Yankee Stadium? Number 3 to go with 8 RBIs in the last 4 games.
So here is LeMahieu. He hits one deep to right center field. On the run, Hamilton. And he turns and looks, and another home run as the Yankees go back-to-back. 6-0 Bombers. LeMahieu's first Yankee home run.
Well, what's the John Sterling line? Belly to belly.
So Cal Eldred wants to go talk to his pitcher. So the big blow so far this inning, the 3-run home run by Tauchman. And this guy's an athlete. Tauchman starred in baseball and football at Friend High School in Palatine, Illinois. So in September of 2008, David, there was a showdown with Jimmy Garoppolo, now the 49ers quarterback. So Talkman was playing cornerback, and he picked off Garoppolo deep in his own territory. Then he switched to quarterback, and he led his team on a game-winning touchdown drive. So he's got some skill.
Well, he hammered that pitch. Talkman's home run was 109.8 miles an hour off the bat. Absolutely scorched.
Judge rips one to short on one-hop Mondesi Fields. And the scoop by O'Hearn. It's another one that we talked about. Judge hitting the ball as hard as you could hit it, but right at the fielder.
And the belly-to-belly part. LeMahieu. And the fumble on the end.
Voit fouls it back. So the Yankees have 6 runs and 4 home runs today. Solo shot by Judge, solo shot by Frazier, solo shot by LeMahieu, and a 3-run shot by Talkman. Oh, and 2 on Voit.
But Mondesi made that play look pretty easy off a Judge. And you see there's the belly-to-belly boys. The last 3 swings from the Yankees. 4 swings, well over 100 miles an hour, all of them. Romine's double, 106. Talkman's home run, 109.8. LeMahieu, 100 miles an hour. And Aaron Judge's 114.4 miles an hour off his bat for an out. Talk about contact management coming into this game has been a problem for Philmeyer.
Swing and a miss. Voit down on strikes. But the Yankees put a 4 spot on the board. They do it by muscling the ball out. A 3-run shot by Talkman, his 3rd of the year. Then LeMahieu goes the other way. His 50th career home run. First as a Yankee. Yankees up 6-0. Thank you, Bob. We'll talk with Bob and Jack and Meredith a little bit later on. Lucas Duda leads off against Masahiro Tanaka, who now has a 6-0 lead. You know, with Talkman with another home run, 3 now on this homestand. I remember when the Yankees got him, somebody in the Yankee organization said to me, watch out for Talkman. And I said, why? That one is lined over the head of a leaping LeMahieu, firing to first, and not in time as Judge, as Duda picks up a single. And they said, our people think he's a little Voitish. So what the Yankees discovered and uncovered in that under-the-radar deal with the Cardinals for Luke Voit, they felt that they could see the same thing happening with Mike Talkman. A little too early, but these 3 home runs certainly are heartening.
Very heartening. And coming at a perfect time, obviously, with all the injuries. The Yankees really needed it and are getting it.
Jeffrey Mayer still in the park. His Uncle Mitch. Just kidding. It's not his uncle. Let's see if they turn 2. There's 1. There's 2. Gallagher bangs into a 6-4-3 double play.
Just couldn't have been any more perfectly placed. I mean, even a nice little Saturday hop for Glaber.
Here's Billy Hamilton. Pitches high. Well, the Yankees are going to survive this onslaught of injuries. Guys like Tauchman are going to have to step up. Players are going to have to play like Clint Frazier when they get an opportunity. Gio Urshela is going to have to make the most of these chances. So, yeah, the Judges, the LeMayus, the Torres, the Boyts, yeah, they have to do what they're supposed to do. But the people that are filling in for the injured players also have to play at a high level. Popped up on the left side. That'll be out of play.
And you have to remember, too, without Aaron Hicks's injury, the Tauchman trade probably doesn't happen. Maybe it does for depth purposes, but I think the Yankees felt compelled to go out and find another outfielder, which kind of marginalized Tyler Wade, if you remember. And even though Tyler Wade can play the outfield, he's an infielder by trade.
Popped up again. Urshela gives it a look. Can't make the play. Tumbles halfway into the camera well.
Little help, please. Thank you.
And the 2-2. Did he go? No, he did not. 3-2. Strike three. Hamilton down looking. No runs a hit, no errors, and because of the DP, nobody left on base. At the end of 4.5, we're halfway through. Yankees 6 and the Royals nothing. Well, tomorrow the Yankees play their series finale with the Royals in an afternoon matinee. Coverage will start at noon with Audi batting practice today in the Yankees pregame. Right here on Yes and streaming on Fox Sports Go. Yankees up 6-0 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. And a new Royals pitcher, Glenn Sparkman. Oh, that looks good. Takes over for Heath Philmeyer.
Yes, please.
Third game for Sparkman. 7 hits in 3 2/3 innings with 1 strikeout. Opponents hitting .412 against him. Glaber Torres will come to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Could have been 1 for 2. Could have had a 3-run home run, but that was overturned. And Sparkman comes in via the BioFreeze fast-acting pain relief pitching change. 1-1.
They showed a fan here at the ballpark on the scoreboard, Michael, in between innings. 105 years old.
Wow.
Pretty remarkable.
So 105 years old, you quite literally could vividly remember Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig playing.
Saw him play, probably. Yep. He's the one that's saying, hey, you missed those RBIs from 1914 on.
It is odd, though. They don't count RBIs before 1920, but they count Babe Ruth's home runs before 1920. Adding up to 714.
Good point.
Two inside. Count full. By the way, LeMahieu's home run in the fourth, that broke an 0 for 15 slide by LeMahieu. Nice play by Sparkman. He took away a base hit. One away. Laboratori's probably thinking, what did I do wrong today?
Not your day, right?
Clint Frazier fouls it back, 0-1.
I think the thing I really noticed both with Talkman, as you mentioned before, and then Clint Frazier is you can just see their confidence growing. For young players, when they have some success, hit a couple of homers, getting a chance to get regular at-bats, their whole body language looks different.
Well, Frazier with a home run, his fifth, off the top of the wall on right, bounding into the seats. A solo shot, and then popped up to third in the third. So he's 1 for 2, hitting .333 with 5 homers and 13 runs batted in. Sparkman deals. Did he go? No, he did not. How do you think this would play in the analytics era? On this date, 1977, Yankees got off to a 2-8 start that year. A year they would go on to win the World Series, and Billy Martin was the manager, and he said, I've got to shake it up. And he picked the lineup out of a hat. Ground ball to third. Dozier. 2-away. Mickey Rivers ended up batting 5th. Chris Chambliss ended up batting 8th. Yankees won the game, and they ended up winning 11 of 12. I don't think that would be cool this day and age.
Yeah, you remember the movie Scanners?
Yeah.
When heads exploded?
Yes. You ever meet Billy?
Yes, I did meet Billy. You don't forget it when you meet Billy Martin.
I mean, you would watch games that he would manage, David, and really he was so far ahead of the competition. He was thinking 6 innings ahead of what the other manager was thinking. He was a brilliant manager. One of those guys you'd sit in his office talking baseball, and it was like a master's class. Two and one on Mike Ford. Mike Ford has walked twice, scored a run. Walked twice in his career. He's walked once today, scored a run in the 4th inning, but looking for his first big league hit.
Some things you just don't forget, Michael. Billy Martin, the chance the day I met Mickey Mantle, the day I met Joe DiMaggio, just fixtures in my mind. I can remember every word, how they looked, what they were wearing, what they said. Met Mickey. You remember Mickey Mantle's restaurant?
Sure.
We were over in Central Park South. Mickey was hanging out.
And the 3-2. He walked. You know, we mentioned that Ford pitched and obviously hit at Princeton. Well, our very own Jack Curry got a hold of Scott Bradley, the head coach at Princeton. And Bradley told Jack that Ford had fielders from Stanford and Duke, but he preferred Princeton because they would let him pitch and hit. But Bradley said that Ford was a very good pitcher, but he always knew that he would be a professional baseball player as a hitter. Obviously, he has patience at the plate. He has 3 walks in his big league career in 2 games. Urshela wraps one to left field for a base hit.
Gio Urshela has been a nice fit here early in the early going. We know his great glove at third, but little added bonus with the bat so far.
Here's Austin Romine. He's 1 for 2. Had a double and a run scored in the 4th inning. Yankees lead 6-0. First and second, 2 outs here in the 5th. Strike. Breaking ball misses outside. 1-1 on Romine. So far, a nice bounce back start for Tanaka after a subpar outing his last time out. Held the Royals to 2 hits and no runs through 5. Chopped to short. Mondesi takes it himself, and that will do it here in the 5th. Yankees strand 2. We go to the 6th. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. And by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. And that'll bring up Whit Merrifield. And we will take a look now at the Infinity Hitter Scouting Report, David.
Well, Whit Merrifield it's just a good story. 31 flavors. You know, we've noted this. He had a 31-game hitting streak. He broke George Brett's team record of 30, which he did back in 1980 when he hit 390. A lot of people thought George Brett was going to, you know, hit 400 that year, be the first one since Ted Williams. And speed too. Well, 45 stolen bases last year led MLB, and kind of riding that wave of extensions after all those years in the minor leagues paid off. Signed a 4-year, $16.25 million deal. Got a club option that'll take it through 2023. But talk about paying your dues, Michael. You know, riding the buses, the minor league days. Nobody really believed in him. Prospect after prospect passed him over. He finally gets his chance. Now he's one of the best players in the game. All around ball players.
And for the Royals, that certainly fits into their payroll philosophy, and they get a guy who's a really good hitter and a really good player at a kind of a bargain rate. I guess what you do is you play on the insecurity of being in the minors so long, and you know how fleeting it could be, and you offer a contract, and you understand why the player would grab it at that age.
He's a big-time college player, too, in the World Series, I believe, at South Carolina. So he's one of those players that got better when he got to the big leagues.
Fly ball deep right, going back Judge on the track, turning, looking, see ya. A home run by Merrifield, and it's 6-1 Yankees. Fans throw it back on the field. That's why you hear that cheer.
Number 3 for Whit Merrifield. Tanaka trying to come in. It doesn't get in, and Merrifield just rides it on out. Gets the barrel of the bat to the baseball, hands inside of it. Just enough carry.
There's a little kid on the fence. Yeah, you can have this back. One 1-0 to Mondesi. No contact day so far. He's walked and struck out.
Yeah, those are the type of home runs that we've become accustomed to seeing from Tanaka. More of the solo variety. Doesn't burn as much when you're still up 6-1.
Strike 3. Mondesi strikes out, 1 away. Take a look at Coors Light refreshing finish, and we'll see how Tanaka's been finishing off batters.
Once again, really good slider. There's a good splitter down, but his slider to both sides of the plate has really been the pitch for him today. And the Royals came out taking a lot of pitches down, so then he had to start bringing it up and throwing strikes with it. And you can see there that last one right on the outside corner.
Alex Gordon takes a strike from Tanaka. Waves at that one, 0-2.
Yeah, we noted Tanaka throwing so many more sliders, almost 10% more over the last couple of years. And not only is he throwing more, it's getting better. Better command of it. It's got more depth to it. It used to be a little flatter side to side.
Right back to Tanaka. 2-away. Well, if you're a Net fan and you've turned to yes because Game 4 of the Nets against the Sixers is about to begin, well, here's what you do. That game can be seen on Channel 9. So you can go to My 9 for the Nets and the Sixers. Game 4 will be by our Yes production team, Ian Eagle doing the play-by-play, Sarah and Richard Jefferson. So that's how you can enjoy that game. But we hope you stay with us. How about this, David? Keuchel's usually the presumptive Gold Glove winner. That one is ripped into left field off the bat of Dozier. And he's going to get himself a double. You think Tanaka could win the Gold Glove this year?
He's got that kind of skill level in my mind. The pitcher's position is so much more difficult to judge. You're 55 feet away from home plate when you release the ball. A lot of times, some of the baseballs that are hit back at you are so fast it's hard to react. But the way he moves off the mound, we saw earlier the play he made on a bunt on the third base line, the way he covers ground. He's an excellent athlete. Doesn't get enough credit for that part of his game.
Here's Ryan O'Hearn. One and 0. O'Hearn 0 for 2 against Tanaka. Grounded to short right field. LeMahieu is right there over to Voit, and that will do it. But the Royals get on the board with the Merrifield home run. 2 hits, 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Power for the Yankees as they lead 6-1, bottom of the 6th inning. So 4.5 home runs for the Yankees today. Would have been 5, but it was overruled. And Mike Tauchman takes outside. So Tauchman, Frazier, and Judge have all homered. All 3 Yankee outfielders going deep for the first time since July 28th of 2017. And that was Frazier, Gardner, and Judge against Tampa Bay. Tauchman with a 3-run shot in the 4th. And This is the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Best in the major leagues. Very productive for the Yankees. Not just today, but the entire season.
It's pretty impressive. I mean, you would think that would have been the weak spot. Not only normally in any lineup, but with all the injuries the Yankees have had. There was a time last year when Miguel Andujar and Gleyber Torres were batting 8th and 9th in a deep Yankees lineup.
Well, you're so right what you said the other day, and you see Tauchman's bio, actually earlier in the game, where you could see confidence. Before Tauchman had the 3 home runs, seemed to be reaching and feeling for the baseball. Now he's vigorously attacking it. And you just see that in young players because they have to believe first that they belong.
Confidence is so fleeting on this level, even among the stars. But it really is fun to watch young players coming of age.
And he works a walk.
Saw it last year with Gleyber Torres and Miguel Andujar, 2 rookies. Seemingly growing up before our eyes, and opportunity knocks once again this year, and Tauchman taking advantage of it.
LeMahieu takes outside. LeMahieu's 1 for 2. A home run his last time up. First home run as a Yankee. 50th career home run. And a broken 0 for 15 slump by LeMahieu. That one is driven out to right center, but Billy Hamilton's right there to put it away.
LeMahieu hits the ball hard. The whole stadium lights up when Judge steps in the box. Just a different buzz.
Judge 1 for 3, home run in the first.
Through all the injuries, Michael, the Yankees hold on to this lead back to 500.
Yep.
After 20 games, they have a chance to be 10-10. And we mentioned this from last year as an example. The Yankees started out 9-9 and then went on to win 100 games once they got rolling. Contrast that with the Red Sox, who started out 17-2 last year and won 108 games. Not the same story this year. The Red Sox need a hot streak just to get back to 500 at this point.
Fly ball right field. On the run is Soler. He can't make the play. Cuts the ball off before it gets to the wall. And Judge walks slowly to first base. Moving to third is Tauchman. I don't know what's up with Judge. He looks like he might have hurt something. He slowed up around first base. He was in some pain. And the crowd gets very quiet. He's going to leave the game. Just like that, the air goes out of the room.
another look. Oh, it looked like the swing.
I think it was the side.
Yeah, that's oblique territory, and that is not good.
Tyler Wade is pinch running for Judge. He reaches right away.
Wow. Tough to speculate, obviously. You don't want to do any more. I mean, judge for yourself. We all saw it. And we'll wait to hear what the post-game press conference says.
Well, the crowd just goes completely silent as Aaron Judge left the game. Three-one to Voigt. Foul back. Wade took off and then stopped about a third of the way to second. Maybe he didn't get a good start.
Three-two count. Natural to send Wade here. Stay out of a potential double play. Talkman could score in that case on a ground ball.
There he goes. Popped up. Soler makes the catch. And Talkman stays put.
Boy, whoever's out there and got the dolls and sticking pins in it on the Yankee players, could you please stop? I mean, some voodoo going on here, Michael.
It's amazing. Really is amazing. We've already got Stanton and Hicks on the DL or IL in terms of outfielders slash DH. That one is ripped through the left side, a base hit for Gleyber Torres. Talkman scores. Wade moves to second at 7-1 Yankees.
Well, a little consolation for Torres after getting robbed of a homer and a single his last time up.
Clint Frazier takes outside.
Frazier keeping it going today. 1 for 3 with that home run that bounced off the top of the wall.
The 1-2. Check that. Now it's 1-2. Bottom of the 6th inning, it's 7-1 Yankees. Yankees 7 runs, 10 hits. The Royals 1 run, 4 hits. Now 2-2.
I think the right mindset, too, for any young player with an opportunity like Clint Frazier is that you control your own destiny. You hit, you produce, you play. You don't worry about injuries or players coming back off the DL. You just stay in your own level. Stay in your lane and keep producing. Things will work out.
2-2. Ripped into center field. It's a base hit. Wade rounds third. He'll score. It's an RBI single for Frazier, and it's 8-1 Yankees.
Right on cue. 2 for 4 day for Frazier. Homer and now an RBI single.
He's got 14 ribbies in the early going. There's Mike Ford, still looking for his first big league hit. He's been on base 3 times, all via the walk. What we've seen so far from Ford is he eyeballs a lot of pitches. He's really patient at the plate. He's down on the count 0-2. Great numbers in the early going. And Grant Wilkes-Barre, AAA affiliate of the Yankees. High pop-up, shallow center. Hamilton coming on to make the play. But the Yankees get 2 runs on 3 hits, 2 men left, and they cross their fingers regarding Aaron. Well, as we go to the 7th inning, Yankees have a healthy lead here at the stadium, but we just watched Aaron Judge walk off after a single to right. We're waiting word on what is going on with Judge. See the Cadillac scoreboard. Tyler Wade is going to take over in right field. And this is a different outfield configuration. Mike Tauchman in center and Clint Frazier in left. And let's go to Meredith Marakovitz now. Meredith, what is the latest with the people on the IL and where they stand?
Well, when you're talking about outfielders, you have Aaron Hicks and Giancarlo Stanton, who rotates between outfield and DH. And Aaron Hicks is not close yet. Although he's begun doing some baseball activity, he's heading back to Tampa and essentially needs a whole spring training to get himself back in baseball shape. As far as Stanton is concerned, he's been hitting off a machine in a cage, has not yet taken BP on the field. That'll be the next step for him. There was some thought that maybe he could return on the West Coast trip. Aaron Boone did not rule that out completely, but it does seem unlikely. As far as some of the other guys, Troy Tulowitzki will head down to Tampa. He's making progress, but it seems like Gary Sanchez will be the first one back, and then as long as there are no setbacks, it'll be Stanton and Tulowitzki at about the same time. The other guys just a little bit further off. And when you look at depth when it comes to outfield, the Yankees don't have an awful lot. One guy we saw a lot of and showed that he had certainly premier skills was Estevan Florial, but he is still on the injured list in the minors. He fractured his wrist during spring training. He just got his cast off the other day, so it's still another week to 10 days till he starts baseball activity.
You know, you hear this phrase so often, David. You've been around the game forever. I can't remember a team suffering this many, not just injuries, but significant injuries. And you mentioned if they hold on to win this game, they have somehow managed to be a 500 team. And I don't think it's an excuse for their 500 start. I believe it's a reason.
Absolutely. I mean, this is not the lineup that we saw on opening day. If you remember the opening day lineup for the Yankees, the DJ LeMahieu was on the bench. That's how deep that lineup was.
The only non-injured, non-pitcher remaining on the 40-man roster is Tyro Estrada for the Yankees. That's it. The other ones are pitchers. And you just have to hope good things about Judge, but to see Judge leave a game, you don't see that. Here's a 3-2.
There's so much uncertainty, too, with a lot of these injuries. And even more now with the Judge injury. First of all, what is it? Pure speculation, but reaching for your side right there after a swing like that is ominous at best.
Popped up. Going to be a very long run for Urshela, and he makes the play. What a play by Gio Urshela. Remember, they were shifting for Duda, and David, watch how long he had to run.
Covering some ground. He sees it right away. StatCast catch probability on a pop-up just wide of third is probably 20%.
Cam Gallagher takes a strike. An announced crowd of 42,013 on an overcast Saturday afternoon in the Bronx. Gallagher 0 for 2. Looks like he'll be 0 for 3 as that one's popped up. LeMahieu in short right field makes the play. And Tanaka works a 1-2-3 seventh inning. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, get up and stretch. Yankees lead the Royals 8-1, but will stay right here as we honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and remove your caps? And please direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest who is joined by his family. United States Marine Corps Corporal Frank Layden from Miller Place, New York, who served in the Vietnam War. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, join us as Yankee Stadium organist Ed Alstrom plays God Bless America.
Amazing stuff, that is for sure. We will listen to the postgame, watch the postgame, because there's going to be a lot of information. Gio Urshela leads off, and Sparkman, in his third inning of work, deals a strike. Take a look at the game summary presented by your local Nissan dealer. 8 runs on 11 hits for the Yanks, 1 on 4 for Kansas City. Judge, Talkman, Frazier, and let's see who else. And LeMahieu with home runs. And Judge left the game in the 6th inning. Had a 2 for 4 day with the solo home run in the 1st inning. Bottom third of the order for the Yanks. Urshela pops it up. That'll be out of play.
You know, kind of under the radar under all this too, as you see. We're going to get a look at how good this catch was.
118 feet of covered ground.
The Yankees' #1 prospect, Esteban Florial, just got a cast off of his hand too, as he was also injured. And when you're looking at outfield depth, he was maybe a little soon to be pushed to the big leagues, but he's going to probably start in Double-A, and he was and is their top prospect.
Cadillac scoreboard, 8-1 Yanks. You know, with all of the outfield injuries the last couple of years, Jacoby Ellsbury would have meant so much to this team if he was a playable player, and they just had to move him to the 60-day DL to clear room on the 40, so he's nowhere close, and he'd have an opportunity to play every single day as well.
Makes the Cashman trade for Tauchman even that much more important at this juncture. Keep saying next man up.
Hammered down the left field line. It's a base hit. That'll go into the corner. And Urshela picks up his 3rd hit of the afternoon. He's making the most of his opportunity.
Indeed, Michael. And this really started in spring training. I mean, the Yankees knew that Urshela was a great depth piece. Good glove. But he really opened some eyes in spring training. Maybe he's figured some things out offensively that he didn't have in Cleveland.
Hitting .321 after that double. Grounded up the middle by Romine. Through for a base hit. Urshela rounds 3rd. He'll score. It's an RBI single for Austin Romine, and it's 9-1 Yankees. Romine 2 for 4. Here's Tauchman, 1 for 2, a 3-run home run in the 4th. He walked in the 6th, grounded out to short in the 2nd.
You know, every general manager, every offseason talks about depth. Those under the radar signings. AAA contract with an invite to spring training. Worst case scenario type players, veteran experience. Urshela fits that category, taking advantage of it, as you said. But on the outfield side, wow. When you start looking down for help. Especially when, as I mentioned, your top prospect, Florial, has just got a cast off of his hand.
And he was flashing some serious skills in spring training before he got hurt. And again, in situations like this, you do rush people. So Florial's probably not ready for the big leagues, but he would have gotten an opportunity if he was healthy.
He was on the roster.
Yep. And that's a big part of it. You have to be on the 40, otherwise the team has to maneuver. 2-2 on Tauchman. Good eye, 3-2. Swing and a miss. Tauchman down on strikes, 1 away. Hey, this fall, it's the start of a new era as Fox becomes a new network home of WWE SmackDown Live. Catch all the action every Friday night beginning October 4th only on Fox. Here's LeMahieu, his first home run of the year. He is 1 for 3 with a walk. At 9-1, the Royals have pretty much thrown up the white flag as they are not holding on Romine at first. I've always found this somewhat interesting in that you're telling the Yankees, okay, you can't run now, but you'll continue to try to score. Again, the always famous unwritten rules. Popped up, right side. Soler, the long run, and he retires LeMahieu for the second out. So these that you're showing me, David, are these the players that are
AAA outfield right now? Trey Umberge, Billy Burns, Matt Lipka we saw in spring training.
Omar Canizales and Zach Zana, who we also saw in spring training, but none of them are on the 40, so there has to be a corresponding move to get them on the 40 before you could bring them up. Not saying that that's going to happen, but
no, you just obviously an outfielder left the game with an injury, and we'll find out what that injury was after, but naturally you kind of look at the overall depth and next man up kind of a theory. That's who's in AAA right now for the Yankees in the outfield.
Now, sometimes these injuries, they're so puzzling to players and an organization because this is what you train for, so it doesn't happen. You know, Jack Curry has texted me, said that he has seen Judge's offseason workout. It's all flexibility and agility so that something like that doesn't happen. But sometimes the baseball gods, they have other ideas. You could do everything possible to do this the right way, and sometimes something could just go wrong.
Well, when you look at Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge, I mean, they are physical specimens, and they're in unbelievable shape. So the question becomes, you know, is any of this preventable? Is there something to look at here? I'm not sure there is. A lot of these guys have their own conditioning programs in the offseason. I mean, generally speaking, when you look at conditioning, you would suspect players that are out of shape that get hurt. Traditionally, over the history of the game, or certainly since I've been involved, you would say this guy got hurt because he's not in shape. That's not the case here.
And then your buddy David Wells always had the line, you can't pull fat.
Exactly. The old Whitey Herzog, steak and a beer kind of a theory.
Two outs. Romine will go. Wade fouls it away. This is Judge's spot. Remember, Wade came in a pinch run for Aaron when he left the game.
There are still some holdovers, Michael, and I know when I first broke in the 80s with the Royals, George Brett had never lifted a weight his entire career. Royal Stadium didn't even have a weight room back in the early 80s, or if they did, it was a really small one with, you know, a recumbent bike, and maybe some old Nautilus equipment. But there's still some holdouts that feel like, oh, weightlifting, no, it makes you too tight, it makes you too bulky.
Strike three, Wade down looking. That'll do it in the seventh. Yankees get another run on 2 hits, 1 man left. We'll go to the 8th inning here at the stadium. It's 9-1 Yankees. Well, congratulations go out to James Paxton on being voted the Montefiore Doing More Player of the Week. And just that game against the Red Sox, he earned it. 12 strikeouts in 8 innings, throwing pitches as fast as 99 miles an hour. He threw 110 pitches, just gave up 2 hits. He was brilliant, David. He really was.
Wow, overpowering. Paxton talked about, you know what, I'm going to stop thinking so much. I'm going to drive hard down the mound and turn it loose. And boy, did that pay off. And see Jonathan Holder in this game to try to right the ship. It's been tough so far for him.
So Tanaka 7, giving up 4 hits and 1 run. Hyundai scoreboard 9-1 Yankees over KC.
A little bit of irony with Tanaka's start. It is just the 2nd time in his career that he has walked 3+ batters in back-to-back starts. That happened last year in May 21st and 27th. And he won both of those games last year. So today didn't really affect him as he won today's game. His last start obviously affected him as he lost after the grand slam.
Grounded to second. And they just get the speedy Hamilton for the first out. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Merrifield swings and misses. One.
That last at bat that Merrifield got that solo home run.
And a strike. Out of the way. Let's take a look at Merrifield's home run in the 6th inning.
Right on top of our hitter scouting report, so it made me look good. I just find him an interesting story. You know, it's a soft spot in my heart for somebody who had to ride the buses of the minor leagues for so long and prove himself constantly. Finally break through and have this kind of success.
Yankees have 13 hits this afternoon. The Royals 4. 1 out here in the 8th. Merrifield, 1 of the 4 hits that home run.
A lot of interest in Merrifield too on the trade market in the offseason. The Royals decided to extend him and reward him. I mentioned his contract extension.
That one is lined to right field. Tyler Wade makes the play. They hit that hard, but Wade Put it away for the second out. That was 95 miles an hour. The Fast Pitch Speed Analytics, sponsored by Fios by Verizon. One and one on Adalberto Mondesi. Well, Holder needs a good outing for sure. He admitted that he's struggling and he's let the team down. So the Yankees trying to straighten him out. He's an important arm in that pen.
Always comes down to command with pitchers when they're struggling. The stuff looks the same. There's no real diminishing of velocity. Breaking stuff looks the same. The repertoire is all there. It's just a matter of putting it where you want to and limiting the mistakes. And it can be very difficult for relievers. Not a lot of margin for error. You got to have it right now when you come into a game.
Right back into your living room.
I don't care if you sit behind a screen or not. If it's coming at you, you're going to duck. You're going to blink.
There was a woman, I believe it was in Toronto, David?
In Toronto. I was just
where they hit a blistering line drive foul back at the screen, and she didn't move. She was so cool about it.
Yes.
Never moved.
I move up here when I see this. I'm ducking right now.
Slow roller back to Holder. And he pitches a 1-2-3 8th inning as the Royals go down in order. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, 9-1 Yanks. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Kia dealers. Visit KiaDealers.com to learn more. By People's United Bank. Need a new checking account? Don't pick one out of left field. People's United Bank, member FDIC. And by the Genesis G70, 2019 North American Car of the Year. Visit your local Genesis retailer. Jake Newberry will take over for the Kansas City Royals. Third pitcher used by Ned Yost. This will be his 5th game. Hyundai scoreboard, 9-1 Yankees over the Royals. Check swing, foul ball off the bat of Voit. Voit kept his streak alive with a single to left field in the 3rd. He's reached base in 31 straight games.
Saw some of Luke Voigt's workouts since we were on the topic of workouts and lifting weights in the offseason. Wow, he's got a big sledgehammer he hits a big tractor tire with. When you talk about training for baseball, it's evolved so much. Players so strong nowadays. The power in this game, amazing, both pitching and hitting. You know, back in the day, you might have seen owners or general managers fire trainers when you see a rash of injuries. A whole different game now.
There's some of Voigt's winter workouts. I was doing that very one this morning.
There you go.
And he goes down on strikes. Owings is taking over third base for Dozier for the Royals.
I can tell you this, Michael, my experience with the Yankees and George Steinbrenner and even the current regime and Steinbrenner family, there is no stone left unturned for any knowledge, any new technology, any new training theories. So it's easy to say, look at all these injuries. What are they doing wrong? Is something wrong in the training regimen? I guarantee you the Yankees are on the forefront of medical data, weight training. So before you criticize, just know that these guys are all well schooled on what they think is best in today's game. The Yankees have everything available to them. These players, whatever they need.
Wow, they called him out. They said that he went around. Let's see. Oh, I don't think so. But Ronald Culpa thought so.
Been one of those days, Glaber.
Can only laugh about it. Otherwise, you'll cry.
Best part is your team still has 9 runs on the board.
Here's Clint Frazier. He is 2 for 4. Foul back. Had a home run in the second, solo shot, an RBI single in the sixth, so his average is at .339, 5 homers and 14 ribbies.
I remember going to spring training with the Yankees every year, Michael, and George Steinbrenner would have somebody from the Olympics, a nutritionist. One year we had somebody that was a yoga specialist, Pilates. Every year was something different. There was no stone was left unturned, as I just said. George, he would provide everything and anything. There was something out there, somebody doing something, some new method. He would have him in there.
That one is ripped to left field, and that ball is going to be one hop up against the wall. Frazier's going for 2, and he is in there with a double. His 3rd hit of the day.
Bat speed, turning, one hop the wall. And on the other end, some foot speed. Going to get on in there.
There's Mike Ford. He has walked twice today, 0 for 2. Two and 0. Clint Frazier with that double. It's now his 3rd 3-hit game this year. Only the White Sox Tim Anderson has more. He has 4. Two and 1. Looped into right field, coming on Soler, and he puts it away for the final out. No runs a hit, no errors, 1 man left. We'll go to the 9th inning. Yankees up by 8, 9-1. Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Delta Airlines, the airline with more new planes flying out of New York City. Delta, keep climbing. And by FW Web, the official plumbing, heating, cooling, and PBF supplier to the New York Yankees. Holder out for his 2nd inning, trying to get the final 3 outs of this game. Alex Gordon will lead off. Driven into left center on the run. Talkman, he covered a lot of ground. Nice play, 1 away. Remember, stay tuned after the game for the WB Mason postgame, as our studio team has highlights, analysis, and clubhouse reaction from today's game. Meredith Marakovitz will tell us exactly what's going on with the judge, plus a look ahead to tomorrow's series finale. It's only on Yes.
Back in 1987, Michael, pitching for the Mets, the entire rotation went down, injuries. Among other players on that team, devastated. All top 6 starters, Rick Aguilera was part of that as well. Coming on the heels of the '86 championship team, our chances were just derailed. I was a rookie that year, and when I got injured, I got hit by a pitch and shattered my pinky, and I went from nobody to another starter got hurt. You kind of feel that way about the Yankees on the field now. Talkman all of a sudden is almost irreplaceable. You see it played in center field now.
0-2 on Owings, his first at bat. He came in for Dozier in the field in the bottom of the 8th.
Next man up has a whole new meaning.
Fly ball deep right, going back. Wade turning, looking, see ya. Home run for Owings. And the Yankees are up 9-2.
It's kind of a microcosm of Jonathan Holder's early season struggle so far on an 0-2 pitch. Just doesn't get it up enough. Just too good of a pitch for 0-2.
The Yankees official Twitter account just tweeted out that Aaron Judge left the game with a left oblique issue, and he is headed to New York Presbyterian for an MRI on that area. Grounded softly to first. O'Hearn is retired as Voigt steps on the bag, and the Yankees are 1 out away. And here is Soler. And here's a strike. One and one. And the Royals are down to their last strike. The 2-2. Inside 3-2. And the payoff. Did he go? No, he did not. A walk to Soler keeps the Royals alive. And that brings up Lucas Duda. Duda 1 for 3 today. Missed outside, does Holder.
Holder trying to get this last out, get the Yankees back to 10-10, just 20 games into the season.
That one is ripped to right field. Is it high enough? No, it's off the wall midway. Duda will stop at first. Going to third is Soler. First and third, 2 men out. He hit a bullet.
You can see fastball location once again.
And that brings up Cam Gallagher. Cam is 0 for 3 this afternoon. First and third, 2 men out. 9-2 Yankees, top of the 9th inning. And a strike. Blocked by Romine, 1-1.
Pitch number 35 about to be delivered for Jonathan Holder. Just in case, Joe Harvey's going to have to get up.
1-2. Again, Royals down to their final strike. What remains of the crowd of 42,013, most of them standing, looking for strike 3. Two and two. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Yankees lead 9-2, 9th inning. Holds up on the pitch, diving down and away, and the count is full at 3-2. So Duda will go from first. Full count, 2 outs. And the pitch. Strike 3, ball game. Yankees win 9-2. That little guy's happy as the Yankees have won 2 of the first 3 games of this 4-game set. Yankees with a lot of home runs today, but everything kind of takes a back seat, David, to Aaron Judge and him leaving the ball game.
Yes.
Everybody be happy with this. The kid's happy, but what's the story on Judge?
Yeah, we're 20 games into the season and a lot of baseball left to play. The question becomes is who's left to play him? Aaron Judge, we will anxiously await his MRI, but an oblique injury is not a good sign. That takes time to heal from, especially with his powerful swing. He's a strong guy. It's hard to swing the bat unless you are healthy, especially your oblique area. So we will wait and see. And the MASH unit continues. It's tough to watch.
We'll have more on this. Remember, Mike Talkman, one of the MASH unit, obviously has done the job today with a 3-run home run. Come on back. Yankees win 9-2.